am unpacking from a program I just did, and here is my wife's crested gecko Tiki. Had her for about, I think we're coming on 10 years, maybe 9 and some change, something like this. This will be the year when she reaches 10 years. She's still got her tail, as you can see. She's very relaxed and friendly, as many cresties are. And she does great at programs. People really enjoy checking her out and visiting with her. So that's always fun. And I'm going to pull up something else. I see Joseph Tavir is here as well. Here is, this is my Scolopendra polymorpha. This one came from Bugs in Cyberspace. I want to say close to a year ago, not quite a year ago. And I love all the Scolopendrids. I love them, They're beautiful. And this one's a very good eater. It tends to be out and about like it is right now. You see it a lot. Some tend to be, more secretive and fossorial, but this one does really well. It's tapping one of its terminal legs there. That's kind of fun. I don't know if I've seen it do that before. Joseph Tavir is here. My Therapeutic Life. Daniel W. Marimba Girl, yeah. I thought I emailed you back, but if I didn't, I need to. Which ones were the ones we were talking about? I think I have I have enough lavas. What was maybe, just nudge me, send me another email so that thread gets revived. My email's been kind of goofy and I sometimes lose threads more easily lately. For the email has been weird. Got a new phone, whatnot, so just let me know and we'll get going on that. There's Laura Taylor, Corridora, and Gum Gum Boy's here as well. So I'm going to put this Scolopendra polymorpha. Looks like it finished its cricket that I gave it. See, like a leg sitting there, but other than that, it's finished. So that's great. Sometimes this is a really good eater. Some centipedes, I've had centipedes that are more reluctant when they've been disturbed to eat, and they kind of want to do it later after you leave. But this one will eat right in front of people very often. Does a pretty good job. This time, it was eating by the end of the presentation, even though it didn't eat when everybody was looking. So Corridor is not getting audio, huh? But if everybody else is, then it can't be my problem, I guess. Not that I wish that on anybody, but I'm just, figuring that out. Another thing people really love to see. Let me scoot this centipede out of the way. Put this one up here, and we'll take a peek. The one that's in here, this is Asian forest scorpion, and this one, can't really see it. Whoa, sorry, tipped it a little bit too much. That's not great. Let's try doing that. That's better. Need to refill the water dish now that we're out of the car. But probably moisten up the substrate a bit more. Okay, Corridor's got the audio back, got a bit of static. I think that's because I'm charging this device as we go, which if I don't do, I'll run out of juice pretty soon. So I think we're kind of stuck with that. I can try shutting off the pump temporarily in the, let's see, I can do that with my Wi-Fi timer. See if that helps. Yeah, charging does cause static, and I wish I didn't have to do it. I can actually take it off and see what that does. It might help. So let's see, just a second here. Juggling a few things on the shelves. Let's try unplugging. I apologize, you're looking at just bare stuff here. This guy came with us. This is my daughter's albino Pac-Man frog. Tortellini. He recently awakened from brumation. And here, let's take the lid off. We can get a better look. He's kicking around quite enthusiastically. That's him. Okay, so I've temporarily turned off the pump, and I've also taken out the charging cable. So let me know what you think. So Tortellini we got as a little guy back from, I think it was Mark's Ark pet store, but it was at an expo. Got him in an expo a few years ago. My daughter, I think it's been probably something like 3 years, I want to say. And, here. I think it's been 3 years, and he's been a lovely guy. He just, like I think I mentioned, he just woke up from brumation, took his first meal yesterday. Yeah, and he's very wide. He voluntarily goes into a sort of a torpor or brumation from about October to March or April, and he just woke up, so we just fed him yesterday. Okay. So Daniel W. getting a shipment of maculatum and paracai tomorrow. Excellent choices. Love those too. Okay, I'm going to go get another bin and of other critters so that we can look at them. And the males get much smaller than the females. So this guy is a male and is considerably smaller than he would be if he were a female. And there are different species out there. But so this one would fit more or less in the palm of my hand. A female would not, a fully mature female would not. And there are different species, and there's the hybrid fantasy frogs as well. Cyberspace Cosmonaut says, my skink woke up a month ago. Awesome. Gecko Man, welcome. Okay, gonna go get another critter. Okay. Okay, I'm back, everybody. Who's here? See that Frank the Tank is joined. And Yotaro is joined. Alright, so next creatures. Let me maneuver a little bit here. Oh, Tortellini. That's his name, Tortellini. May have mentioned that already. He has a longer name, but that's his name we use. We just call him Tort most of the time. Okay, sorry, just bumped the camera a little bit. Don't like it when I do that. Everybody should recognize these. Who can tell me the name of the species, and who can tell me the difference between the one on the left and the one on the right? See if you can do it. They're distinct terms. Marimba Girl, yep, Diabolical Ironclad Beetle, true. They're both Diabolical Ironclad Beetles, but one has the one on the left has an additional name given to the locality. So Diabolical Ironclad Beetle, the one on the left has a name that starts with an H that goes before it. Anybody know that one? See how it has the different markings on the tip of the abdomen and a little bit on the edges of the base of its elytrae, and kind of along the side too. Hellburnt, there it is. Frank the Tank. Hellburnt, Diabolical, Ironclad beetles. Is there a better name? Seriously? Love that name. Oh, this one's ending its death feigning already. Okay, I'm going to put these into the container. Those both came from Bugs in Cyberspace, by the way. All right. I think I see we have Andrew Apodica. Not sure how to say that, but thank you. I'm glad I helped you get into isopods. Cubaris red pandas are fun. I haven't had those. I've had the panda kings, not had the red pandas. And you're welcome. Glad that was helpful. Who can name this one? Laura Taylor, a very good request, but I've got stuff stacked up from moving things around, and it's not going to be very feasible to view the aquatic tank. There's a bunch of stuff I need to reorganize. And once I do that, let's do some aquatic tank stuff. It's not ready tonight, but we need to get there. Itty bitty ladybug, been a while. Nice to see you back. Yeah, Panda Kings are one of the easier Cubaris to get. They really are. If you are thinking, oh, I want to get into Cubaris, that's one of my top 2 choices for you as far as Cubaris goes, because Panda Kings are really not very demanding, breed decently well, faster than a lot. Thank you, Laura, for understanding. We will get there. Top's also covered in water lettuce, almost completely. I got rid of the duckweed finally. That was a huge pain. A huge thorn in my side, so to speak, and I got rid of the duckweed, and now there's almost wall-to-wall water lettuce, so I need to pull some of that out. But I'd much rather have water lettuce than duckweed. Yeah, the other one I would recommend, I wouldn't recommend rubber duckies first. You can do it. I know people who have, and it can work. I'm not saying it can't work, but the other one I can say is Cubaris marina, any form of marina. This is a Spirostreptus species 1. Yeah. It's just being very floppy, not doing a whole lot. So an appropriate enclosure for this millipede. You need a nice deep substrate, and that substrate should include things like white wrought wood and or flake soil in high proportions. It can include some leaf litter. Should be quite deep, so I wouldn't recommend like a 6-quart. That's too small for a Spirostreptus. At least a 16-quart or bigger would be even better. And nice and deep with that nice rich substrate. If you get a flake soil or white wrought wood based substrate for millipedes specifically, that would be good. And yeah, with some ventilation. Doesn't need to have super crazy ventilation, but some ventilation would be good. And that is about it. They don't need a whole lot if they have really good substrate. Really good substrate. Moist enough so that you can squeeze a handful of it, feel the moisture, but you're not wringing water out of it. All right, those were just crickets. Planted enclosure possible, but usually their substrate is different than what a plant would want or need. Not saying you couldn't do it, but I would say that's not ideal. Just because they really do better with like the flake soil and white wrought wood kind of based substrate, which a lot of plants are not going to do that well in. I guess you could put plants in the enclosure and plant them in pots and then bury the pots in a different substrate maybe, but this is going to be a little tricky, but I'm trying to show you Charlotte. This is Charlotte, my Cochlicania hibernalis, or black hole spider. Oh, Frank the Tank. I would love to hear more about these giant globular springtails. How big were they? I've never seen a large globular springtail, so that's pretty cool. Well, this is Charlotte. I know the camera's not getting the best look at her, but this is Charlotte, my black hole spider. I've had her for years. I want to say like this is her maybe fourth year, I don't know. Quite a while. She is doing well. She didn't really eat anything during the presentation. She sometimes does. I'm going to see if she put the cricket, if she has subsequently eaten and she stored the cricket back here. Nope. So it must be kicking around somewhere in the castle. If you haven't seen one of these cobweb castles, the Spider Keep, cobwebcastle.com is the place I got them from. Elliot there sent me this to kind of test it out, get the word out on these. I love it because it's got this, you know, the plexiglass slide down lid. Oh, I think she has the cricket. She does have the cricket indeed. It's in her mouth. It's hanging there. Good, she got the cricket. I see now. Yeah, and then in the back, you know, it's got this black wall partition you can lift up. Oh shoot, hopefully that didn't scare her. And it's got her little nest back there, which I love. And so super cool. Let's see. So Laura Philippi, welcome. Jack Merritt, welcome. And Yotaro, my adult garters, refuse to eat silversides. Really? That's one I haven't had problems with getting them to eat. But I wonder, let's see, I wonder if you can do the, I think what I did with some of mine maybe in the past is mix some earthworms with them to scent them. Have you tried that? And if you haven't tried that, then this is an option. You get the silver-sized thawed, and you put a shallow dish full of live guppies in the enclosure with a couple of pieces of silverside in there with the live guppies. Can't leave that in there for very long because it becomes icky really quick, but you leave it in there for an hour or so, and you might find that oh, that's one I didn't feed yet. You might find that they end up hunting for the guppies, grab the silverside and swallow it. That's a trick I learned from Dawn. So maybe give that a try. So worth a shot. Because they get so excited and they'll grab anything when they're hunting, you know. When they're in hunting mode, they'll grab anything and usually swallow it. So if they're, and you don't put too many guppies in there, enough so that they have to hunt, but not enough so that they hit a guppy with every mouthful kind of thing, you know what I mean? That's worth trying. I've done that with pinkies too. If you're trying to get them onto pinkies and they're not going onto pinkies, you can do that. And they will grab the pinky and swallow it because they're so excited about the fish. So, I'm not sure how to say your name. Zip code. I'll call you zip code. How's that? So isopods that won't eat moss. Well, don't work with Armadillidium or Cubaris marina for sure, as far as moss goes. I just put this cricket in here. Usually you don't find the Damon diadema, which is the guy in the white lower right-hand corner there. Usually you don't find them on the bottom of the enclosure. But seeing as it was just traveling, it traveled for about an hour after having, you know, been at the program and then traveled for another hour before that. It's probably not, it's probably a little disoriented. So it's hanging on the floor. I don't really like to see them there because that usually means something's wrong, but after traveling like it did, I don't think it means that. Anyway, you could try some of the Porcellio or Porcelionides to see if they don't eat moss, but moss seems to be a favorite of more isopods. So many isopods. So you could try those. I think they're less likely to be a problem with the moss than Armadillidium or Cubaris marina, but or Venezilo, for example. All of those will munch that moss. That might be worth a shot. So those are massive, Frank to Tank. Got to see if we can get those in culture. So if you can get there, Frank, again, we need to get some photos. Get those into Ryan Pavy's hands or something. See if we can get those ID'd. Yeah, snake plant does pretty well in arid bioactives. Haworthia could do well too. Yeah, I would say snake plant is kind of the go-to failsafe for arid or even non-arid bioactives. Other recommendations for arid depends on whether you got a plant eater in there or not. Someone was telling me they experimented with Portulacaria afra, which a plant I love and I've been keeping for like 16 years or so, but I haven't put it in an arid vivarium, but it is an arid succulent. Might work with that. I have kept vinegaroons in the past, Daniel. I don't currently have a vinegaroon, but I've had a few and I would like to get into vinegaroons again. I had one for a while that I got when I was on Sky Island Adventures, and it successfully brumated with me 1 year. I lived through the warm season again, and then all of a sudden when it was about time to brumate, it just passed away suddenly. I don't know what the heck happened. Kind of sad. Yeah, and zip code, what I was just mentioning, yeah, zip code probably knows this, but dwarf jade / elephant bush is Portulacaria afra. Probably should have mentioned a common name. Those are two common names of it. It's also called speckboom and various other things. So that might be worth a shot. Marimba girl, P. pruinosis and springtails with the hognose, not too much to worry about. P. pruinosis is basically my... Oh, look what happened there. The cricket tried to nibble and he jerked out of the way. It's a hungry cricket though. We'll see. I think it's stimulating the tailless whip scorpion to climb back up on the wall. Frank the Tank sounds interesting aniscus with green and some pink piebald look to them. Huh, interesting. Yeah, Giant Canyon, that's another Porcelio option. That's good. Ballora philippi, some peperomia can survive some of those conditions. That's a good point. Kind of fascinated. I don't want to move too quickly. Kind of want to see what's happening here. The drama unfold with this tailless whip scorpion. This is a Damon diadema, by the way, captive bred. So can someone put the scientific name Portulacaria afra, maybe a link in the chat, one of our mods? So Jack Merritt's still working on breeding. I've still got a pair. Tried to pair them several times after their last molt and couldn't confirm whether or not they had actually mated, but put them together for periods of time more than once. I was hoping for a pairing. I haven't seen any evidence that they actually paired, so I think it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see. Just have to keep watching. I don't think it took this time, or we probably would have seen a brood sac by now, but what I'm going to do is if the next time they molt, I'll give them a little while to sclerotize and give them a couple of good meals, and then I will put them together again and we'll see what we get. Hoping that the warmer weather will help get that going. And there it goes. He's climbing up onto the wall. Maybe he's going to go after that cricket. I'm going to try to optimize your viewing experience here if I can, so you get to see more of the back wall of the enclosure and more likely to catch what's going on. What do you think? Better? Bunch of dirt all over the styrofoam doesn't look awesome. And the water dish is nearly empty now, but it's about time to replace that water dish anyway. I love watching these guys hunt. I had a video feeding another different Damon diadema I used to have, my first group, that did pretty well. It got over 100,000. It was like, it has 131,000 views or something. It was kind of fun. It was a pretty good video. So if you look up Damon diadema feeding Aquarimax after this, you can check it out if you haven't seen it. Get to see him hunt. I've got a couple of feeding videos of them. They both are pretty good. They really are fascinating creatures. I'm really hoping to get them breeding. I would love to. Damon diadema is fairly rare in the hobby, can be captive bred, so if I can get some, captive bred, a couple of broods out into the hobby, I would love that. Bioscape is stick with the peds and pods for now. That's fair. Not everybody likes the alien-looking arachnids. All right, well, I think I've got most of the critters out of the boxes, but I need to do some things that it's going to necessitate me leaving the room. So I think in about 3 minutes, I'm going to cut this one short so I can put everybody away. Also, I see my dad was trying to call me and I need to call him back and see what's going on. So we got a couple more minutes though. Let's see. Laura Taylor looks like she linked to the linked to the Damon diadema feeding video, so everybody queue that up after this one if you want to. And it would be awesome if you queue it up, watch it, leave a comment telling you that this live stream sent you. That would be really fun, and it would probably mess with the algorithm a little bit in a good way. So if you would do that, I would love it. I would absolutely love that. So Jack Merritt, small Cuban tailless whip scorpion, size of my thumbnail, by far the most unique invert I have. So you have the, I know this species, Carinus acostae. Yeah, Carinus acostae. Is that the one you have? Carinus acosta? I want to get that species. Is that the parthenogenic one, right? It's one of the parthenogenic species of tailless whip scorpion that stays the size of your thumbnail. Yeah, I think this one's going to eat that cricket, I'm hoping. And I'm hoping the cricket does not lay eggs in there before, because it is a mature female. She's digging around. So I hope she doesn't lay eggs in there. I don't want 400 baby crickets in there. But just watching those antenniform legs move is just mind-blowingly fascinating. It's mesmerizing. Got the tarantula next to her here, my one and only tarantula. She ate too at the program, but not when everybody was watching. She waited till everybody wasn't. Sometimes she will eat for the program and it's kind of fun. But deep sea creature, okay, I can see that. So Bioscape is about 2 rainbows and they just burrowed down into substrate and haven't come out since. It's been 3 months. Is that normal? Rainbow millipedes? I have not worked with rainbow millipedes. It's not terribly uncommon for millipedes to bury themselves for extended periods of time, but especially when they're molting, and sometimes they will do like a mass molt. Well, various individuals will molt and they seem like synchronized in molting. 3 months is a little long maybe for some millipedes, but I'm not familiar enough with rainbow millipedes to tell you that, because I haven't kept that species. Yeah, marimba girl, those antenniform legs are crazy, huh? All right, everyone, it's been about half an hour. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to call my dad and see what's going on. Make sure there aren't any emergencies going on. Thanks a lot for joining, and we'll catch you later.